Previously on Storylines, the Negro Leagues. When I met Buck in 1993, one of the first questions that I posed to him was, what motivated you to want to build a Negro Leagues baseball museum? And his answer was succinct, but very poignant, so that baseball's unsung heroes will never be forgotten. Without question, Satchel Paige was the Negro League's biggest and brightest star. A lot of people don't know that Jackie Robinson's illustrious professional baseball career began in Kansas City in 1945 with the Kansas City Monarchs. The beauty of the Negro Leagues is that they didn't care what color you were, and they didn't care what gender you were. The legendary Josh Gibson would have hit home runs in any league, in any era, had he been given the opportunity to do so. What we are doing is fueling dreams. We're fueling the possibilities that come from this incredible story of amazing athletes who overcame the obstacles that were in front of them to go after their dreams. And the Negro Leagues gave them a platform to do just that. They say every star tells a story. And isn't it fitting that one story of triumph over adversity was founded in the winter and celebrated in the summer? Under bright lights with stars in the sky. A story of monarchs and grays, clowns and Crawfords, eagles and giants, and of course, stars, who defined what for the love of the game really meant. And on those fields, under those lights, legends came to play, where their passion never died, where their stars would always shine. These are the legends. These are their stories, where their stars would always shine. These are the legends. These are their stories. This is the Negro Leagues.
Tell me I was born to
that it is the greatest nickname in baseball history. He is still believed to be the fastest man to ever play this game. How fast was Cool Papa Bell? I guess you could say faster than a light switch. The legendary Satchel Paige would say of his friend that he was so fast that he could walk in a room, turn off the lights, get in bed, pull up the covers before the room went dark. They clocked him circling the bases in an amazing 12 seconds. He twice, honest to God's truth, twice scored from first base on a bunt in exhibition games against Major League All-Stars. He once stole 175 bases in a less than 200-game season. The legendary Jesse Owens, who at that time was the fastest man in the world, would never race Cool Papa Bell. He would have made Jesse Owens look like he was standing still.
Did you ever race him, like, before a game in front of crowds and stuff?
We had a doubleheader in Cleveland, Ohio, and he was in the stand. He see me running the bases around, and they say, I left my track shoes home, so I can't.
And now, Cool Papa Bell. Cut on and lifted in the air on the move to the gap. No trouble here, puts it away for the out. And there's one away. Cool Papa Bell digging in now. That one the other way. Save. It was never going to be easy after the misplay.
It's crazy, Boog, but the story about Cool Papa Bell being faster than the light switch is actually true. There was a delay on the switch in a hotel room Bell and Satchel Paige were staying in, and Bell figured it out before Satchel got there. So he bet Satchel he could get under the covers before the light went out, and he won.
So back to the top of the order. Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Cool Papa Bell. And first offering is fouled off. On the ground out to short. Gets it to first, and they get Bell for the out. That's out number 3. Ready to go. And now the center fielder, Cool Papa Bell. Now this is in the air down the line. And that's a foul ball. Swing and a ground ball. One up, one down. Back to the top of the lineup. Digging in is the switch hitting outfielder, Cool Papa Bell. Ground ball left side. Fires across the diamond, and they get Bell for the out. Swung on, belted. Makes his way towards it. High bounce over the fence for an automatic double. Go ahead run on base. Here's the second baseman. Line drive, and Bell kicks it into high gear. This one could be trouble. Around third. The relay. Save. He scores. Nobody runs like Cool Papa Bell.
Cool Papa Bell comes to the Negro Leagues as a pitcher. Had a full repertoire of pitches. Really good fastball, great breaking ball, screwball, knuckleball. He earned the nickname Cool Papa while facing the legendary Oscar Charleston in a crucial situation in a game, and he struck him out.
You're out.
I thought started Charleston and Benfield. Wait a minute, something in my eye. Yeah, that's a curveball in the eye. That's what's in the eye.
And that led the St. Louis Stars manager to say, that guy is Cool. And then he added Papa, and the name stuck. But Cool hurt his arm. And it was almost a twist of fate, you might say, that after he hurt his arm pitching, they moved him to the outfield. And the legend of Cool Papa Bell was really born.
So bases all loaded up. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. In for a strike, 0-1.
The story about Cool Papa Bell striking out Oscar Charleston is even more amazing when you realize it was actually in Bell's professional debut. He struck out Charleston and Ben Taylor back-to-back. Quite a way to start your career.
In the air to left center, under it. And that's the third out. Two outs, bases full. Charleston will hit next. That's in there. Next offering is in for a strike. Good eye in that spot. Foul ball still, a 1-2 count. Big spot. Two out. Both the tying and go-ahead runs are aboard. Got him. Cool Papa Bell leaves him loaded with the strikeout.
Cool Papa Bell is in left field there on our Field of Legends at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum because of another special ball player that's in center field. But Cool Papa Bell is one of the greatest center fielders this game has ever seen. Quick release that made up for the injured arm and blazing speed. He played a shallow outfield, so it was hard to bloop it in front of him. And you had to hit it on a rope to get it over his head because he could get on his horse with the best of them. And Cool would use that blazing speed and ran himself into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1974.
So two down. Turkey Stearns stepping to the plate now. That's smacked on a line to center. And this one is over. What a play to end the game.
Cool Papa Bell was one of the great leadoff hitters of all time. He became a great switch hitter and then started primarily hitting from his left-hand side. So he's getting a running start from the get-go. Once while playing in Cuba, he hit 3 home runs. And you'll say, well, okay, there's a lot of guys who've hit 3 home runs. But there are not a lot of guys who hit 3 inside the park home runs in one game. Cool Papa Bell, while playing in Mexico, goes from first to third so fast on a single that the Mexican team stopped the game in protest because they swore he had cut across the diamond. There was no way in the world any man could get around the bases that fast. That's the speed of Cool Papa Bell.
Were you always fast? Oh, yeah, I was fast when I was a little kid. It was just something born in me.
Here's the center fielder, Cool Papa Bell.
With a lot of Negro League stars, you wonder what they could have done if baseball was integrated at the time. Cool Papa Bell hit almost 400 in interracial games over the course of his career. It didn't matter who he was playing, he always excelled.
Over to first, one up, one down. You brought up Bell's success in games against white players, Singy. Hall of Fame third baseman Pie Traynor said he could have made the grade easily and that he could steal a pitcher's pants. Another player said he must have had wings on his feet. They fired in quickly, so it's first and second with only one away. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And here is Cool Papa Bell. Hit in the air, right field. Should have this one. He's there. He's got it. One away.
One of Bell's greatest compliments came when he dominated the interracial 1936 Denver Post tournament. The sports editor of the paper wrote, "All these years, I've been looking for a player who could steal first base. I found my man. His name is Cool Papa Bell."
And they get Bell. Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Cool Papa Bell. Hit in the air, center field. Puts it away for the out. And there's one down. Cool Papa Bell digging in now.
Ball.
Lined into right. And there are two outs. Bottom of the inning. And the batter now, Cool Papa Bell. And that one fouled off. And that one fouled off.
Ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And that one is lifted in the air. Sizes this one up. And there's one down. Back now at Greenleaf Field. And now the center fielder, Cool Papa Bell. In the air, left field, down the line. Makes a nice grab at a full sprint. One down. So the lineup flips over. Digging in is the switch hitting outfielder, Cool Papa Bell. That one is absolutely belted. Hops over the wall, and that's an automatic double. Line drive, and that's a base hit to right. So they get a man aboard with a one-out single. Bottom of the first. Here's the center fielder, Cool Papa Bell. This one's hammered, and you can forget it. Cool Papa Bell with a big-time home run. Okay, all set to go. Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Cool Papa Bell. In the air, right side, settles underneath it, and out number 1 on the grab. Cool Papa Bell digging in now. That one out to right. Brings it in. Runner tagging from third. Throw is offline, and he scores. It's 1-1. Back to the top of the order now. And now the center fielder, Cool Papa Bell. That one outside. And that's ball 1.
1-0.
Judy Johnson was the best defensive third baseman in the Negro Leagues, and he said if Cool Papa Bell hit a ball to the left side that took more than 1 hop, there was no way to get him out. Judy said you might as well just hold the ball.
Now it goes to first, and he gets back safely. So the batting order turns over. Cool Papa Bell getting ready to hit. And first offering is fouled off. When Cool Papa got inducted into the Hall of Fame, he thanked them for letting him smell the roses while he was still alive and called it the biggest honor he ever received.
1-1.
But he always said the biggest thrill of his life was seeing the big leagues integrated. Next pitch misses way outside.
In his last season at 43 years old, Bell hit .397 for the Homestead Grays, but lost the batting title to Monty Irvin because he took himself out of the lineup for the last few games. Cool Papa wanted Monty to win because it would give Irvin a better spotlight for Major League scouts.
I remember when the great Willie Mays makes his first visit to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And he walks in and he's peering through the chicken wire, looking out onto the field of legends. And as any good center fielder would do, the first thing that he asked Buck O'Neil was, "Buck, who is that in center field?" And Buck looks at him and says, "Willie, that was you before there ever was a you." From Indianapolis, Indiana, it is the legendary Oscar Charleston, whom Buck O'Neil would say without hesitation, the greatest baseball player he ever saw. Oscar Charleston joined the Indianapolis ABCs in 1920 when the Negro Leagues were established. The consummate 5-tool player. You remember the great over-the-shoulder basket catch that Willie Mays makes in the World Series there in the Polo Grounds? Well, all the old-timers in the Negro League say, had that been Oscar Charleston, he'd have been waiting for that ball to come down. That's the kind of instinctive center fielder that he was. He had the defensive abilities of Tris Speaker, the tenacity of Ty Cobb, and the bat of Babe Ruth rolled into one dynamic package. That was the great Oscar Charleston.
Oscar Charleston stepping in now for the Crawfords with one gone and a runner in scoring position. Center field. Stearns underneath it. Corrals it. Out number 2.
There are a lot of stories of how good Oscar Charleston was, Boog, but here's one stat that sums it up pretty well. He's the only player in MLB history to win the Triple Crown 3 times. The only other players to even do it twice are Rogers Hornsby and Ted Williams.
Hauls it in, and there's one away. The last 2 of those Charleston Triple Crown years you mentioned, Singy, 1924 and 25, he was playing for the Harrisburg Giants, 2 hours east of the Philadelphia Phillies. who were finishing second to last both years when they could have had an all-time talent leading them if not for segregation. And we're back. Bottom 9, Oscar Charleston stepping in now. Hit pretty well in the air out to center. Stearns gets under it. And there's one down.
Dixie was part of the $1 million infield for the Newark Eagles.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Charleston now at the plate. Swing and a foul back, and that's out of play. Man at second. Foul ball there. And a pitch.
Nope, outside. Two to count.
Liner, base hit. Coming home. He'll score easily. And he'll reach second with one away. Oscar digs in for the second time here, already 1 for 1. Smoked on the ground to second. In plenty of time to first, and they get Charleston for the out. And first offering is fouled off. Two outs. Charleston belts this one deep to right, way back there. Onto the track, and he makes the catch. And the batter now, Oscar Charleston.
Aye. All ones the count.
Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Makes the catch for the out. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. Swing and a ball driven pretty well out towards left center. Hauls it in for the out. Base is empty, one away. Oscar Charleston, the next to hit. Swing and a foul back. That's out of play. One down, base is empty. And a ground ball to first. And he takes it himself for the out. Oscar Charleston digs in now. Now a fly ball to right center. Sizing this one up. Brings Oscar Charleston stepping in now for the Crawfords with one gone and a runner in scoring position. Swing and a ball popped up. As this one sized up. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. Two down. Welcome back to Greenlee Field. Now here is Oscar Charleston. He gets there with the slide. And that's a great play for the out.
That's outside.
A dive, he's got it. Throw to first. And that's a nice play to end the inning. At the plate, Oscar Charleston. First pitch swinging.
0-1.
Next offering is fouled back. Lifted in the air, left field, pretty well struck. Drops into the glove. That's out number 2. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. In position. Snags it for the second out.
There are a lot of stories of how good Oscar Charleston was, Boog, but here's one stat that sums it up pretty well. He's the only player in MLB history to win the Triple Crown 3 times. The only other players to even do it twice are Rogers Hornsby and Ted Williams.
That's back there. And it is gone. Inside, almost got him. And that is out of play. The last 2 of those Charleston Triple Crown years you mentioned, Singy, 1924 and 25, he was playing for the Harrisburg Giants, 2 hours east of the Philadelphia Phillies, who were finishing second to last both years, when they could have had an all-time talent leading them if not for segregation. In the air, pretty deep out to center field. And Stearns makes the grab for the out. And there's 2 down. So 2 outs with runners on the corners. Charleston will hit next. Hot shot to first base, and he snags it to end the inning. One out, runner at second. Oscar Charleston now at the plate. This one in the dirt. Runner at second here, 1 gone. Next offering is fouled back. This one is crushed, and it's going to go. Oscar Charleston with a no-doubt home run. Oscar digs in for the second time here, already 1 for 1. And the first offering is not close. That's towards center. Stearns is there. He's got it, and that will end the inning. 2 down, bases empty. Now it's going to be Oscar Charleston. Rips one to right. Fair ball. Makes the turn and heads for second. In safely. It's a double and his second hit. So bases all loaded up. Here's Martin Digo stepping into the box. it in the air right center field. This one lifted to the outfield. Oscar's really hustling for it. He hangs on. What an incredible catch from Oscar Charleston.
In 1921, as a member of the St. Louis Giants, Oscar Charleston put together one of the greatest single seasons not in black baseball history, but in baseball history, when he led the Negro Leagues in home runs, doubles, triples, stolen bases, and batting average in the same season. And with the integration of the stats of the Negro Leagues into the annals of Major League Baseball's record books, Oscar Charleston now stands in third place on the all-time batting average list, just behind his former teammate, Josh Gibson, then Ty Cobb, and of course, the great Oscar Charleston.
Chance for the Hilldales to break it open early with Oscar Charleston digging in and 2 runners on with nobody out. Well struck, deep right field, way back and out of here.
During the 1935 Negro League World Series, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, who had had one of the most dominant regular seasons in Negro League's history, found themselves in a dogfight against the New York Cubans. As a matter of fact, they trailed in that series 3-2. And in a critical, pivotal moment, Oscar Charleston is squaring off against the great Martin Dihigo. You might know him as El Maestro, the master. One of the most versatile players in baseball history. Dihigo is on the mound as 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th when Oscar Charleston hits a 3-run homer to tie the game. And that kept the Crawfords alive, and they would go on to win that 1935 Negro League World Series, much to do with the heroics of the great Oscar Charleston.
So 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Oscar Charleston, the next to hit. Gets under it and pops it up. Has a beat on it. He makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
Oscar Charleston didn't just star on that 1935 Pittsburgh Crawfords team. He was the manager, too. He skippered the team to the Negro League's World Series title, out-managing the great Martin Dihigo along the way.
Into center and a base hit. And that keeps the inning alive. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. First pitch swinging, and it's a knock. So a man aboard now with 1 away. Tries to get back and save.
That 1935 series had one of the greatest groups of talent ever. Pittsburgh had Oscar, Josh Gibson, Cool Papa Bell, Judy Johnson, and Leroy Matlock. And the Cubans had Martin Dihigo, Rap Dixon, and Lefty Tion.
Oscar Charleston getting ready to hit. That one fouled off. And that one in the air center field. Settles under it. He's got it, and there's 2 away. Don't forget that Oscar had that incredible 1935 series when he was 38 years old. You know how many other players have batted 300 and hit 3 homers in a World Series at that age, Singy?
I think just 2. Let's see, Johnny Mize and Willie Stargell.
That is exactly right. Both those guys are Hall of Famers. Makes the grab. Runner tags at second.
Here's another stat to put Oscar's greatness in context. Only 5 players.
Here's Oscar Charleston to the plate with a chance to make this a big first inning for the Crawfords. Little trouble with this one behind the plate.
0-1.
But no advance from the runners. In the air, out towards left center. And Dixon hauls it in for the out. Runner tags for home. He's in on the sac fly, and they lead by 2. And welcome back to the ballpark. All set for the start of the inning. Now here is Oscar Charleston. This one in the air center field. Gets under it. And makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down. This one is blasted. A no-doubter. Grand slam. New inning getting started. Now at the plate, Oscar Charleston. And that's a check swing and a ball in the dirt. And it's 1-0. And there's a foul ball. Here's a 1-1. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Squeezes it, and there's 1 down. So a man at first. And here's the first baseman, Oscar Charleston. And he chases that one below the zone.
0-1.
That one missed. Hard hit, right side. Slings to first, and the inning is over. Two on, 1 out. And now the first baseman, Oscar Charleston. On the ground. And that's foul.
Ball. 1-1.
Swings and sends a rocket to right. Makes the catch. Runner tags from third. He scores on the sac fly. It's 2-0. So 1 out, nobody on. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. And puts the squeeze on that one. 2 down. Line drive. Handles, throws to first, and they get Charleston for the out. They limit the damage here. One gone, runner at first. Oscar Charleston digs in now. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. And Dixon makes the play. 2 away. So first and second with 1 gone. And now Oscar Charleston. So 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And now Oscar Charleston. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. And it's into the gap. 1 run is in. 2 runs across now. Around second now as they still don't have it. He's not stopping. On his way home. Plays the plate and he's out. He tried for the inside to Parker and he couldn't make it. But 2 runs come in on the play. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. And Dixon hauls it in for the out.
Hey!
This one is crushed, and it's gonna go. Oscar Charleston with a no-doubt home run. Oscar Charleston stepping in now. Drilled in the air, high and deep right field. Going back, going, gone.
Buck O'Neil would say of Oscar Charleston that he was the strongest man he ever saw playing this game. He says Charleston could take a baseball, put it between both palms, and turn the leather on the baseball. Just freakishly strong. Of course, he was also extremely tough. He enlisted in the U.S. Army when he was 15 years old. Now, he lied about his age to get in, but can you imagine a 15-year-old serving his country? Oscar Charleston would eventually serve during World War I and would come back home and play for his native Indianapolis ABCs, but you could tell how tough he was. He once snatched the hood off of a Ku Klux Klansman and lived to tell about it. In Cuba, there's the great story of him going on a play home, and he barrels over the Cuban catcher, and it incites a fight. And back then, the military was the security for those games. And so they were prepared to arrest Charleston. And the general of the army said, no, no, any man that strong, don't bother him. That was Oscar Charleston.
Oscar Charleston steps in for the Hilldales with runners at the corners and nobody out. A big opportunity. Line drive. And it jumps the wall in foul territory for an automatic double. And a run comes in to score. This one is crushed, and it's gonna go. Oscar Charleston with a no-doubt home run.
Yeah, whenever I miss those days, visit my LA. Under the ground, running around, we was them kids that played.
Oscar Charleston played for 43 years in the Negro League. That is unbelievable. And then, of course, Oscar Charleston would become a manager. As tenacious as Oscar Charleston was on the field, he was the complete opposite off the field, where he was a gentle giant, nurturing his ball players. And 3 of those ball players, while managing the Indianapolis Clowns, were the 3 pioneering women who called the Negro Leagues home. Tony Stone, Mamie Peanut Johnson, and Connie Morgan. And Charleston had the tremendous ability to instill great confidence in his players, which certainly belied how he performed on the field. But maybe that's the beauty of Oscar Charleston, who would also go on to scout for Branch Rickey's Brooklyn Brown Dodger, and was part of the effort that ultimately landed us Jackie Robinson, who was playing for the Kansas City Monarchs. So Oscar Charleston has a tremendous baseball career from every facet of the game, and it led him into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1976.
Here's the great Oscar Charleston stepping in for Pittsburgh to face Bill Foster. Out towards right center. That's well struck. That one's back there. Get out of town.